Hey guys, Anthony here. How is the good life? Let me get my mic a little bit in front of me. Voila. So, thank you for watching this video. We are gonna go futures trading on Binance. But before we start, let's explain a little bit how futures work. So, imagine you have 1,000 USDT in your Binance account. And you said, okay, this is my profit from my many trades and I want to do a little bit of high risk trading, because that's really what it is. It's high risk trading. What can I do with futures? So basically you can create a multiplier. A multiplier allows you to trade well above the means of your initial investment. So let's say my 1,000. So for example, I have a 10-time multiplier. That means that my budget is now 10,000 USDT. So with that multiplier in place, I can buy, let's say, Ethereum. Ethereum is priced at 600 at the moment. It's a little bit up, a little bit down, but let's make it 600 for easy calculation. So with that, I can buy, so 10,000 divided by 600, 16.6 Ether, right? So now what will happen if Ether goes up in price from 600 to 610? You take the profit. Very simple. You know, take the profit as if you own the 16.6 Ether. However, with this setup, you have what's called a liquidation point. Liquidation point is that your 1,000 USD cannot cover the 10,000 worth of Ether. So what is the liquidation point and how can we calculate it? So basically, the liquidation point is calculated if we go 1,000, our initial investment, and divide that by 16.6, then we can see the liquidation point is $60 US. That means that if the price of Ether, if I go for a long position, if the price drops to 540 USDT, then I lose my full investment. I'm now liquidated. If I go for a short position and the price goes to 660 USD, I lose my investment. So between that gap, that's really your investment gap, where you can win or you can lose, and that can go quite rapidly and quite significantly. In the background you'll see this thing here running, and we'll look at a position that I have standing now, which I bought in at 5.99, meaning it's now lost 9 times whatever my initial investment is. So we'll have a look in a little bit, but basically this is my gap, right? $60. If it gains or loses, if it falls out of it, I lose my entire investment like that, gone. Nothing to do about. Now they also have up to 125 times your margins. That's risky, right? Because same concept. Now I can buy 100,000 worth of Ethereum, meaning I have 160 Ethereum. But then my gap, if I do the same calculations, 1,000 divided by 160.6, meaning that now my gap is only $6.2, aka at 100,000, if it falls down to 594 or for a long position, or it goes up to 606 in a short position, I lose my 1,000. On the other hand, if let's say my Ethereum on my long position doesn't go down, and instead it goes up, let's say $20, so it becomes 620, then all of a sudden 20 times 160.6, I made 3,200 US dollars, right? And everybody knows how quick it can go. So in the blink of an eye, you can make a couple of grand like that. Problem is, you can lose as well, like that. Very important to understand. If you start playing with derivatives, keep your risk low, understand how it works, and then it's your money. You can do what you want with it. I'm not giving you financial advice on how to spend your money, but yeah, keep that in mind. So, but with that in mind, let's have a look at how this works. So, let's look at the bad news. Here is my position at the moment, right? This is a position that I bought. You can see it as an entry price at $5.99. You can see the market price at the moment is $5.93, and my liquidation price is $5.73. So if it drops another $20, I lose my entire investment, which in this case was about 1,700 USDT, right? That would be shitty, but that's a high risk, right? If I want to, I'm risk averse and say, you know what, it's too risky for me, I'll take this $400 US loss right away. I can press market, sells it straight away at the current market price. If I want, I can do a limit and I can say, well, sell X amount. So I have about 56 Ethereum, but I want to say, okay, sell maybe half of them at a certain price, and you can still sell it right away. Another thing you can do is you can set a profit and loss position. So if you see here in the corner, if you press this, you can then set, okay, your take profit and your stop loss. So at the moment, I can set my take profit at 630 US dollars. So as soon as Ethereum hits 630 US dollars, it will sell it automatically, and I take a profit of 1,700 US dollars. If I want to be loss aversive, I want to make sure that I have a limit. I can say, well, if it goes below, let's say 599.80, which is how much I bought into, then I have zero loss, right? So you can set these triggers up. Of course, sometimes you set them too quickly, and then you end up with gaining nothing, right? It sells right away. So important that you don't really do that unless you have some profit already. So in this case, at the moment, 27% of my investment is gone based on the current pricing. And to be honest, it's been doing that the whole day, so I'm not too worried about it too much. But it might be a point that there's a massive drop. Like for example, yesterday, the 1st December, there was a massive spike up to where I was probably earning about 2,000 US dollars in a trade, in a contract, and within an hour it disappeared completely. Now luckily I sold it already, so I'm not too worried about it, but a lot of people would not have sold and they lost a lot of money, right? So how are we gonna buy a contract? So basically, if you go to your Binance website, you have a section called derivatives, and you have your USD futures and your coin futures. In this video, we're only going to talk about USD, but these other ones, coin is actually very similar. So in our USD future, once you click on it, it will bring up the trading screen. And then what you can do is here you can place an order, right? So you can do a limit order, a market order, and a stop limit. So we're just going to cover limit and market for now. Let's say there is, a massive boost going on that might last for the next 20 minutes. Then you might want to go select your coin pair. So in this case, let's say we go sushi. Sushi, very high risk swap, by the way. I wouldn't recommend it. You can make and lose a lot of money quickly with this. But let's say I want to go jump into sushi. Then whatever I have in my balance, in my wallet, Now, keeping in mind, this wallet is different. It's a futures wallet. It's different than your spot wallet. So you will need to transfer money into your wallet, which you can do from here, right? Where you can say, okay, transfer money from spot wallet into my futures wallet, and see what you can send over, right? So basically, you need to send it over. But once you have some money in your wallet, you can then select the size. You can say, well, my entire budget, or maybe 80% of my budget that I have there, I want to go for this particular order, and I want to buy it at this particular price, right? So same like buying, actually, in this case for market, you don't set a price. You just buy, and it buys directly at the average market price. Here, however, and this is much more recommended, you can actually say, okay, I want to buy when it hits a certain price. And that's the same like buying normal currency. Once it hits a certain price, it's it's sold, it's fulfilled, right? So you'll see it once you press it, you buy, you'll see it as an open order, and once it's fulfilled, you'll see it as a position, right? So that's the position, and there's a couple of things that you need to understand as well. For example, this one is your cross and isolated mode. Now, I would recommend going for isolated mode. That will keep everything within that single order. Cross allows you to, leverage across different positions and orders, and that's not ideal. So isolated, at least you know exactly what you can gain and what you can lose, right? Then of course you have your multiplier, so you have your times 10, times 20, all the way up to 50. And even if you look at, for example, Bitcoin, you can leverage up to 125, right? And that's a crazy amount of risk, even on a high price currency like Bitcoin, right? So do that if you have enough money to spend. Of course, you can gain a lot, but you can lose a lot very quickly, right? So basically, once you set your margin, and if you're just starting out, start with 10 or start with 7. There's no, at least it buys you a little bit of time to get to know the system, to get to know how this trading works, and then you're good to go. But once you have it and it's fulfilled, you'll see it here in your positions, and then it's just a matter of time and hoping that your pick was the correct one, right? So in this case, if I was going for a short position on this price, I would have been in profit this amount of money, right? But because I went for a long position, I'm imagining the price going up in the next couple hours, I went for a long position. Yeah. So hopefully this makes sense. I put a link in the description for this futures setup. With that, you get 10% discount on your trading fees, which you normally wouldn't get if you just register. So take it, or you can go directly. It's up to you. But anyway, it's there for a reason. And then good luck. Like I said, only gamble this amount of money if you can lose it. If you're not able to lose it, don't play with this at all. Like I said, it's high risk, very dangerous. All right, thank you for watching.